Hey everybody, and welcome back to another show and tell video. My name is Megan and I am the face behind Toe Creations. This is a kind of a monthly video that I do for my grandma who lives about an hour and a half away from me to show her all the crafty things that I've been working on. By crafty, that is knitting, crocheting, and a little sewing, not much this time around, and sometimes some yarn dyeing. So welcome! I guess I should start off by saying Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year! Just an all-around happy belated holidays. Yeah, December is probably the busiest month of the year for us. Just so much traveling and just, you know, the holidays in general. And I had all intentions of making a video in December, but it just did not pan out. So I'm here today with hopefully not too much of a lengthy video, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a little longer than most of my previous videos. So as always, we are just going to jump right in. So last month, yeah, gift making like crazy. I am proud to say that I got all of my gift making done on time, and everyone loved what they received. So that right there was just totally worth it and very exciting to know. I didn't really do much knitting. It was primarily crochet. And unfortunately I have one finished object to show you, and the rest have already been gifted. So just to kind of recap, I did some soap savers, which if you have been following me for a while, you know what those look like. I did a handful of those for a lady. I did several pairs of mittens for another lady, and then there's the princess blanket, and I am so happy that I got that done. I actually got it done about 8:30 in the morning of the day we were having our family Christmas party. So I got it done with about 7 hours to spare. So I was really excited about that one. But since I don't have it here with me, I'll insert some pictures here of the finished object, and as well as some kind of progress shots. But what it is, it's a corner-to-corner Afghan, really, that I made, and for my niece. I believe she's 4, my 4-year-old niece, and she loves it. I guess my brother said that she's been sleeping with it every night. It is a fairly large blanket. It probably fits comfortably on a twin-size bed, and it has the princesses around, and then the huge castle in the middle, and her name, of course, was on the blanket as well. Some little background tidbits about the blanket. Yarn wise, I did it in Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn, and a mix of that, Red Heart, Super Saver, and Red Heart with Love. I'm proud to say that about 90% of that blanket was made from stash, which was really exciting. I had priced it what it would cost to do it all in Hobby Lobby's yarn, and it was I think it was close to $200. So I was like, that's not gonna happen. So I dug through stash, and I was able to kind of finagle it to make it work. And I think I had to buy just a few different skeins, and it probably cost me about 20 bucks to make that blanket. So so that was a plus side. What else? It was my first corner-to-corner anything that I've ever made, so that was a learning process on its own. If I could do things differently, I would say that I would block each individual square before joining them together. Or even, I saw on YouTube they have a kind of join as you go tutorial, which I didn't notice that when I started. But what my problem came into is, I don't know if it had to do with the different yarns, but after I had joined all the squares together, some of the squares was puckering. There was a little pucker in the squares. So I what's it called? I blocked it as a finished blanket, and that helped get rid of some of it, but there was still some slight puckering in places. And honestly, I don't think anyone's gonna notice it unless you're really looking for it. And I really believe that the more she uses it, it'll just kind of work itself out. So those were the things that I guess, notes that I made when making that blanket. But I'm so glad it's over. It probably took me 3 months to make. Definitely a labor of love, but seeing how excited she was when she opened it, oh, it just melted my heart. She's, out of my nephews and nieces, she's kind of the quieter one, and because I don't see her that often, we're not as close. I don't want to say we're not as close, but she doesn't have that familiarity with me as she does my sister and my other brother. And so the fact just to see her get so excited, and she ran over and gave me a hug, like, it was done. So worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat for her. So yeah, so that's the blanket. And then I made another toy, I guess, for my nephew, and it was Heihei, which is the crazy-eyed chicken off Moana. Yeah. So I made an amigurumi crochet of Heihei, and so it is a paid-for pattern, and I'll put the information here on the screen and down below. But it was very inexpensive, and it was a very detailed pattern as well. I am not good at amigurumi. Like, I can make the pieces just fine. It's just the putting the pieces together that I'm not very good at. So, but it's something that my sister-in-law had asked me to make. Heihei is kind of my nephew's nickname. When my sister-in-law was pregnant, that's what her daughter called the baby when he wasn't born yet. Oh, that's Heihei. So the name just kind of... My dog just spilt my coffee. The name just kind of stuck. Anyways, Heihei. I made Heihei. It went over well. Here's a picture. So, yeah, I don't want to make Heihei again anytime soon. Not because it was a hard pattern, but just because it's just not my thing. So, so that was all like the Christmas gifting. So my last finished object that I have to show you is of a hat that I made for a friend of mine. She asked me to make her one of those messy bun hats with the hole in the top. And so I was really excited that I found this pattern. There's this hat out. It's by CC, Colorado Chick. I guess it's a very popular beanie. I've never seen it in real life, but I see it like on the internet everywhere, and everyone talks about it. And so I found a copycat version of it on Ravelry. It's called the Copycat CC Beanie. It looks like, let me take it out of the sleeve. It looks like that. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and so I had to give the pattern a try. And the maker, which I don't think I have her name on here. I do not. But she added instructions in the pattern for the messy bun. So you can do it as a full size, like a full beanie closed at the top, or the messy bun. So I did messy bun, and this is what it looks like. I absolutely adore this hat. And there's a little hole at the top. And the amount of like stretch in this hat is just crazy. But so I haven't gifted this to her yet, but I sent her a picture and she loves it. And I had posted a picture of it on, I think, Facebook or Instagram, or maybe both. And my sister-in-law caught wind of it, and she asked me to make her one. So I have hers on the needles right now. So I believe this one, I changed the pattern a little bit just because of my gauge. I'm using a 4.5 millimeter needle for this, and I think I cast it on 96 stitches instead of 86, which was in the pattern. So yeah, have that to work on. But that was my my last make of 2017, so that was pretty exciting. So that about wraps up all of my finished objects. And I have a few whips, not too many to be honest. So like I said, I have that that messy bun hat for my sister-in-law. This is all I have done, which is the brim. And what you do is you go like 3.5 inches and then you fold it up. This is a provisional cast on. And so I did mine in a separate color this time. I think it's because I'm new to it. I had to learn how to do it to make this hat. But when I was picking up the stitches on this hat, it was hard to see them. So I did it in a different color just in hopes it would make it easier. But yeah, so I have about 1/2 inch more to go, and then I will fold it up, and then that'll be the brim. And then the rest of the hat just flies. Like, it works up really, really quick. So, so that's one WIP I'm working on. Although I'm not actively working on these, I had talked about them in my last video. Hold on a second. Okay. And that is these like Christmas socks. And I didn't really get to work on these a whole lot just because of everything that was going on. But so here's this one. This one's ready to turn the heel. These are fidget socks. My fidget socks. And then on the other one, the other sock, I am just, barely past the toe on it with this one. Which is kind of funny because I know the light's really washing this out. But I actually really like the way this is knitting up. I might make this into a Christmas color this year. This one I don't really care for. But no, this one I do. I do really like this one. So we'll see what comes out of that one. So that's one of my 3 pairs of socks that I have on the needles. Oh geez. And then lastly, WIP wise, I actually haven't started it yet, but I still count it as a WIP just because it's about to happen. And that is a hat for my dad. I was visiting my parents, right before the new year, and, I saw my dad outside and he didn't have a hat on and it was really cold. And so I asked him if he had a hat and he said no. And I was like, you never thought to ask me to make you one? So I'm going to make him this go-to watch cap, which is by Turman. Let me see if it has a finished picture of it. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. It looks like this. Just a nice folded brim style hat. Very simple. And the color I'm using is just this dark gray of Patton's worsted. I think the color name is Dark Gray Mix. So make him a hat out of that, and so he can keep his head warm. I know here in Indiana, for the past week, it's been below 0. I had to take my dog to the vet, first hit her puppy shots or whatever, and it was -14 going to the vet. So, but there is a heat wave coming. It starts today. I think it was 3 degrees today. So, whew, break out your swimsuit. It's getting warm out here. And by the weekend is actually supposed to jump from like 0 to like 30, like 35. So I'm pretty sure like everyone in Indiana is going to be sick this weekend just because of the drastic weather change. It's just crazy. Like, I really admire Indiana's determination to try to fit all the seasons in 1 week. Like, it's funny, but it is crazy. Like, I don't even know how it happens. But, so yeah, so back on topic. That's pretty much my WIPs. I do have, oh gosh, I have a lot of additions, like purchases, I guess, to show you, which I'll save till the end in case you don't want to watch it, and just because there's so much of it. Between Black Friday and Christmas, yeah, it's kind of bad. But before I get to that, I do have some Ravelry group news. So starting January 1st, I am hosting a make-along. In case you haven't heard, I'm doing a Carpe Diem make-along. Carpe Diem, seize the day. And the idea behind this make-along is to encourage us makers to step outside the box, step outside your comfort zone, and try those patterns that we don't know how to do, that we are not good at, that maybe it's a pattern that you were discouraged in starting because you don't know how to do certain stitches or, you know, skills and techniques. It's just a way for us to kind of be pushed to try those things. So yeah, it started January 1st. Cast on has to be January 1st or later, no whips. It's open to crochet and knitting. Really, it could be with anything. I just chose crochet and knitting because the prizes are they're leaning towards crocheting and knitting related, you know, objects. So yeah, what else? If it's made with Toe Creations yarn, you can enter it twice into the finished object thread, so you get like an extra, you know, point or whatever. So yeah. So what am I doing for it? Believe it or not, I have never made a shawl. And I guess there's a reason for it, because I just have trouble casting it on. Like, I don't even know why. But I tried making a shawl once before, and I mean, I think I got this far into it, and I just kept messing up. So that I remember now. I couldn't do the knit and front, knit behind stitch. Like that just, I couldn't wrap my head around it back then. But I know how to do that now. But I don't know what my problem is now. It's just not, I think I'm being too much of a perfectionist when it comes to it. Like I'm not liking how it's looking, or I think it's looking wrong, so I rip it out. I need to kind of trust myself, I guess, and just keep going. You know, it'll look better when it comes around. But I'm doing the Bendy Arrow shawl. This is a shawl that I've wanted to do for a long time, like ever since I seen it. And so I was really excited to kind of cast it on and try it. So like I said, I've ripped it out twice now. And I'm going to be casting it on for, what, 3rd time's a charm? Is that what they say? So hopefully I'll get it. I'm making it in my yarn, my hand-dyed yarn. So the main color is going to be Frostbite. Again, it's probably being really washed out. This is my Surefoot base, which is merino nylon. And then I'm also going to be having charcoal and sea mist in the shawl as well. So yep. I'm really excited to make this shawl, to wear the shawl, and the fact that I'm making it out of my hand-dyed yarn is also very exciting. So we'll probably try casting that on maybe tonight and see how that goes. Other objects, or not objects, but other, what am I trying to say? Other projects that I have in mind in doing for this make-along include the braided cable beanie, from PremKnits. It looks like that. If you can see it in the sleeve, it's probably glaring. It's a very popular hat. I mean, you've probably seen it all over Instagram. But I have never done cables, so I'm very excited to try this hat out and try that. That would be something new as well. And lastly, do I have it down here? Is a pair of socks, which I've made socks before, but I want to try an afterthought heel. I've never done that before. So that's another project that I would like to try during this Carpe Diem make-along. All 3 of these obviously will not be done by the end of March, which I don't know if I said that or not. January 1st to March 31st. But I hope to at least start them. So that's the point. It's just to start it, you know, just to take that step. But I'm making my socks out of Dark Night, which is one of my hand-dyed yarns. This was a yarn that I dyed when I first started dyeing, and I'm considering bringing it back as a regular, but I want to see how it knits up. So I am a huge Batman fanatic, like obsessed Batman. I don't even know why, but I am, and I always have been ever since I seen the very first Batman movie. I don't remember how old I was, but it was on VHS, and after I watched it, I was just like, oh, that was the greatest movie ever. So my love of Batman was born. So yeah, afterthought heal on those. This is going to be my pickup line project. The boys went back to school today, so I have to start, you know, my pickup line projects. So that's everything for my Carpe Diem make-along. If you'd like to join, please join. It's all hosted through my Ravelry group. There's a chatter thread, which is, you know, we can talk and, you know, motivate each other along, and there's also a finished object thread. There'll be prizes drawn from both threads. So yeah, and you can use the hashtag Carpe Diem MAL and on Instagram, so we can kind of all see how things are going. But while we're talking about make-alongs, I've been making a list of the different knit-alongs and make-alongs that I'm participating in, and I thought I'd take a minute and tell you some of them in case you were looking for some knit-alongs to participate in as well. So really in no order, I'll just start. One that I'm participating in is the Stranded podcast hosted by Amy. She's doing a commercial yarn along, basically making anything with commercial yarn. Easy enough. So that's from January 1st to March 15th. Again, all in her Ravelry group. I like that one because about, 95% of my stash is all commercial yarn. So that is very nice. Going along with that one, Laura from the Tiny Human Knits podcast is hosting a Knit from Stash along, which, again, perfect. Using anything that's in your stash. No yarn that you buy this year is allowed, obviously. It starts today, January 4th, and there's no end date on it now. She was thinking maybe 6 months or so. So definitely worth checking out. Next is Woolberry Fiber Co. She is hosting a scrappy sock along from January 1st to February 14th, basically making pairs of socks out of scraps. I believe the minimum is 5 different colors, and she has a whole bunch of different categories for prizes in the make along, so definitely worth checking out. She has a hashtag, which is Woolberry Scrap Along. And again, I will, all this information can be in the show notes. And also, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, I list show notes below in the description box and also on my Ravelry group. The show notes on the Ravelry group are much more detailed though, with links and, more information and just more detailed. So my last knit along that I'm participating in as of right now is the 9-inch circular sock along by Sissy Knits, and that is all year long, January 1st to the end of December. And basically the only rules is that your socks have to be an adult sized pair of socks, and it has to be a pair, and they have to be made on 9-inch circulars. So I'm very excited about that one because one of my main goals this year is to make more socks. So again, what better way to be motivated than to participate in these make-alongs. She also has a hashtag of 9in Circ Sock Along. So I'll put it on the screen because I'm sure that's kind of hard to understand. But so yeah, so that's kind of all the fun things that I'm doing at the beginning of the year. I know 2018 brings a lot of talks of goals and what do I want for this year and stuff like that. And I tried doing this last year, having goals, and I can tell you right now, I don't think I did any of them. I think I had good intentions, and I think I started, but things just fell apart, and you know, I'll just move on. But one of the things that I want to do this year that didn't pan out last year is to keep track of everything I make. It shouldn't be that hard. So I started this last year, and somehow, I think it was about March or April, I got mixed up and forgot, and I don't know if I was counting projects twice, or I didn't know what I counted and what I didn't count, and anyways, the numbers just got all jumbled up, and I just quit. And so I really want to do that this year. I'm going to do that this year. And other hopes that I have is just to become a better sock knitter, to knit more socks this year, and to learn more techniques when it comes to making socks, different heel variations, different toe variations, just different types of socks, you know. And so I'd like to do that, and I have a lot of ideas for toe creations this year, so just to go through with those would be amazing. Every year I try to progress as far as toe creations, and I feel like I'm doing a very good job of that. So I want to continue doing that, and just kind of see where it takes us. So and talking with that, shop news, I really don't have any shop news right now. I am planning on a shop update, hopefully about middle of January. As of right now, I have no kitchen. So that's where I dye yarn, and I currently have no sink and no countertop, which makes dyeing yarn kind of difficult when you don't have those two things. So I will say that I have some mini skein sets that are in the works. They are currently drying, and once those are dried and set up, they will be posted into the shop. Yeah, I got some new dyes for Christmas, and so I'm really excited to be playing with some more colors and making up some more colorways. So yeah, so be expecting some mini skein sets coming into the shop in a couple weeks. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll probably hear about it when I post it. I will also post it in the Ravelry group. I know my videos are a month apart, so if you check one of those 3 areas, you'll be able to know firsthand when things are posted. So yeah, so that's shop news. Again, not too much to talk about there. So now we've come to all this gifting and adding and whatnot. So it all started with Instagram's Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. So I don't know why, but I look forward to Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted like every year. I think it's the greatest thing in the world. I have so much fun doing it. And what I find to be so funny is, like, I put these patterns in my Ravelry group, right? On my wish list. And it's like, oh, you know, I just $5 for a pattern, you know, like I'll get it later, you know, not right now. But during Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted, like, oh, you want a pattern? It's $5. Here you go, pattern for you, you know. But oh, it's just too steep for me. But hey, you want it? I'll get it for you. Merry Christmas. So, but I mean, ideally, I guess that's how it should be, right? So, so yeah, like, I just get a kick out of it. So, I participated in it this year, and let me show you what I got. So I did get 2 patterns gifted to me, and they're patterns I've already shown you, actually. The first, I received the Bendy Arrow pattern, and I received the Braided Cable Beanie pattern as part of my Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. So I like freaked out when that happened. I was seriously, I might have been jumping around on that one, but I was really excited about that one. So, secondly, I received some yarn, some sock yarn. So I received this, which I really like these colors, and I can't wait to see them worked up. I'm not even going to try to pronounce what this yarn is called, so I'll just show you the label. It's glaring really bad. So I got that, so I was super excited about that. And then also on one of the times I had posted it, I had asked for 9-inch circular needles for socks. So this lady, she had sent me that, the needles, but she also sent a little bit more. She, with the 9-inch circulars, which are currently, I have socks on right now, she sent me this lovely skein of Aloha Blue yarn. Isn't that pretty? This is a 50% superwash merino, 25% alpaca, 25% nylon. The colorway is Lion's Mane Jellyfish. It is so soft. So it was that. I haven't found a pattern for that yet. But what I really liked was this, where's my camera? Was this little stitch marker. It has my name on it. I was really like tickled over that. I thought that was so cool. Now that I've shown you, I can take it off and use it now. I didn't want to lose it. So, so yeah, if any of you who gifted me these things are watching, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much, and it's made me so happy. So that was my my Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted portion. Next is kind of a, well, I'm not even going to separate it. This is a mix of Black Friday sales, Christmas money, Christmas gifts. Yeah, it's pretty bad, guys. I have like 2 like big boxes of stuff here. I think we'll go ahead and start with what my husband got me for Christmas. God love him. He refuses to buy me yarn. He says he'll never buy me yarn, which is fine. He says I have enough of it, so he's never gonna buy me yarn. But he did buy me some yarn type things. So this is what he got me for Christmas. It's a little yarn bowl. Isn't that pretty? It's handmade or handcrafted. I thought it was beautiful. And it came with some little stitch markers and needles. It's by Laborwood. So, way to go, hubby. Good job. I was really excited about that. He's been giving me a hard time because I haven't used it yet. But I will. I will soon. I already know what I'm going to use that for, too. So, okay. So, next, well, we'll just do non-yarn first. Non-yarn stuff first. Okay. I finally got myself some sock blockers. So, these are from KnittingLeft, which is on Etsy. Got 2 of them here. And these are these are Halloween ones, which again, this makes me laugh, like how quirky I am. So I'm looking at her sock blockers, and I had it narrowed down to 2 different kinds. I had it narrowed down to these, which is Halloween, obviously, and then I had it narrowed down to some Christmas ones that she had. I believe it had like Santa, sleigh, and some reindeer down the legs. And so I'm looking at them, and I'm like, well, the Christmas ones I can use during Christmas, but the Halloween ones I could use all year long. What? So that's my reasoning. Like, what? It doesn't even make any sense. So Halloween won it. There we go. So I have a feeling I will go back and get her Christmas ones, though, because they were really cute. But overall, these are very, very well made. They're very lightweight. She has different sizes, and this is a medium, I believe, which fits my socks perfectly. So I'm very, very pleased with this. She had a Black Friday sale on those when I purchased those. So I was very happy with that purchase. Secondly, non-yarn related things is I've been wanting to try some Knit Pro Zings DP ends, and I finally found some. I've got them in 2.5 millimeters and 2.75 millimeters. And I've been looking, I don't think they sell these in America, in the US. And so I found a Etsy shop, CamelotDyeworksLLC, on Etsy, and she had the best deal that I could find on them. They were $5. $5 a pop on these, which was the cheapest. Even after shipping, I think her shipping was $3 or something like that. But still, it was the best deal I could find on the internet. So I have used them, and I like them. I do like them. I don't. What do I want to say? I don't like bamboo. I think it's because I am a tight knitter. They don't glide. It just doesn't glide. So I usually used ChowGoo ones, which is stainless steel. I do have some aluminum sets, which are okay, but I feel like they just get bent, and they're not as pointy. But I do like these. I do, the ends of them, it's not sharp, but it is more pointy, I guess, than what the aluminum ones you could buy at like Michael's. So, yeah, overall, I like them. I like them. That's probably, I'm not doing a pretty good review on these, am I? I like them. So, those are the, well, I guess I got one more thing. A box. No, this is for my Christmas socks. My Christmas sock box. And I'll show you on the lid. It has little knit stitches on the lid. So, it's not a very big box, but I am an extremely slow sock knitter, so I don't expect to fill this up anytime soon. But I'm just happy I have a box now. So that's that. So now we have yarn, and it's all sock yarn. It's all sock yarn. So we'll do commercial yarn first. Okay. So we'll save that one. So they had a sale on Patton's Croy. I believe it was at Joann's Black Friday sale. So I've got this color, which is blue striped rag. So I'll do that one. I also got this color one's from Hobby Lobby. This is turquoise jacquard. I really like I think I'm really going to like how these turn out. I also got, what color is this? Muslin to kind of do like heels and toes with. Excuse me. And of course, this year I promised myself I would make my husband some socks. He has been asking repeatedly for like 2 years for me to make him socks. And it's not a matter of me not wanting to do it. It's just, at first I didn't even know how to make socks. And then secondly, it's just kind of that fine tuning of how to do things. I attempted to make him a sock one time, and I made it to the heel, and he tried it on and it didn't fit. Well, it fit, but it was very tight. I felt like the stitches were being stretched way too much. So yeah. So I bought him two skeins of yarn to make his socks. So the first one is Patton's Croy, and it is woodsy. So I think he'll like these. So there's that one. And then this one is by West Yorkshire Spinners, and in the colorway Pheasant. Now, I've been wanting to this is kind of like a bonus. I've been really wanting to try this yarn for a long time, and we went on a kind of a little short family vacation. It was like a 2-day trip. down down south a little bit to stay at a state park, and in town there they have a yarn shop that I like to visit when we go down there. And so I had went in there looking for West Yorkshire Spinners Christmas yarn. I can't think of the color I wanted. It was like hollyberry or something like that. But anyways, they didn't have it. They were all out of their Christmas yarn. But I saw this and I liked the color right off the bat. But then when I found out that it was called pheasant, I just had to get it. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but my husband is a very avid bird hunter. Pheasants, grouse, chucker, dove, just anything. He, from September till February, it's bird season and he's gone all the time. So, I was really excited to find these and, make his socks. I'm sure he'll be really surprised, about that. So that's that. Oh, one more. This one was kind of, a selfish buy for me. I have, going along with the West Yorkshire Spinner yarn. I've always wanted to try opal yarn as well. And so I don't even know where you find opal yarn, to be honest. I don't have a local yarn shop where I live. And so, I got looking online and I actually bought this off hotyarns.com and they had a clearance section. So it was like, $9, I think. So anyways, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but this is the opal yarn that I got. And I'm super excited to work this up as well. I kind of like the hard wearing socks. I'm one of those people that in the summer, like the summer and spring, I'm barefoot all the time, and then fall and winter I have socks on all the time. So I'll say that I am hard on my socks. I have hard feet, I guess you could say. I have rough feet. But so yeah, just the kind of coarser yarns I'm okay with. I like that. And I would really like to try Corridel yarn socks, but I just haven't really found any. So if any of you know maybe some shops that sell Corridel yarns, even commercial or hand dyed, I would be very interested to have a look at that because it is something that I would like to try. But okay, I've got a few more left. Let's start with this one. So I don't know why, but like Black Friday, when I was, I had some Christmas money, and when I was shopping, I just, like, the majority of stuff I got was Halloween based. I don't know. So, this is some yarn I bought from Miss Monster Creations. I've had my eye on this yarn for quite some time. So, there's that one. My next one is from Zappco. Here's her card. And then this is in the colorway Nightmare Before Christmas, which I've had my eye on this one for a long time, and I'm so happy I got it. And to be honest, I don't think there's any other name that would fit this yarn. It's beautiful. I really like all of these colors is Nightmare Before Christmas, in my opinion. So I think it's just perfect. And I'm so excited to knit this up. And it's so soft. It is so very soft. It's 463 yards. It's in her soft sock base. It's 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon. Nightmare Before Christmas. Love it. Next is another one that I've had my eye on for a very long time, and it's from Laura from Tiny Human Knits and Sugar Cookie. Look at that glitter, or that sparkle, whatever you want to call it. It's beautiful, and she has a very pretty card too. So I've kind of always had my eye on this one, and then I seen her, Laura knit some up in socks, and I was done. Like, I had to have it. So she had a sale, and I got to get it. And she also sent me this little mini, which is really pretty. I want to say this is Murderino. Laura, is that right? But so I plan on making socks out of that. I plan on making socks out of all those, all the last like the Halloween yarns. So my last one, now this is my last, no, it's not my last one. My last hand-dyed yarn is kind of a surprise. So Mom, if you're watching and you want to be surprised, turn it off, mute it, look away or something. But this was kind of, okay, back up. So every year, my mom started this tradition last year where her, me, and my sister and my sister-in-laws all get together, and we go down south to a cabin, and we have like a crafty weekend, like a girls' weekend away, and we do nothing but craft. So all of us girls are crafters at heart, and so we get together and we do not leave the cabin at all for like 4 days. We're in pajamas for 4 days and we do nothing but eat, watch TV, and do our little projects. So last year we watched Pitch Perfect, and that was the first time I had seen that movie, and I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. So as you know, or you may not know, they came out with a third one. So they have 3 different movies, and the third one just came out. So we were talking about watching it here in a few weeks when we go on our crafty weekend. So when I heard that Freckled Whimsy came out with a Pitch Perfect colorway, I was in. I had to do it. So not only have I been wanting to try her yarn for a while now, but this just kind of jump started that motion. So this is it. This is the I Love You Awesome Nerds colorway, and it is inspired by Pitch Perfect, all the movies. So this is her Serendipity base, which is a 4-ply merino nylon blend, 75-25, 460 yards. Freckled Whimsy. Again, beautiful, beautiful colors. I'm very excited to knit this up as well. So I have one more. Yarn piggery at its finest, right? So at our family Christmas, there was this beautiful little box that had my name on it. And so of course I'm thinking, you know, box of socks. But I didn't know what was in it. But when I opened it, you guys, my mom just gets me. She gets me. Thanks, Mom. So, Knit Picks, Stroll. 2 of each. So, I'm not going to go through the colors. If you want to know what any of them are, just let me know. But, super excited about that. Just kind of goes along with, just my year of socks, right? I don't even know how many socks I would want to make. Maybe like 5. That seems so little, but that's such a high number for me. So I'm going to aim for 5 pairs of socks for me, and then maybe 2 pairs for my husband. 7. This is just increasing already. Maybe we should just increase it to an even 10. That's like 1 a month. That's pushing it. That's really starting to push it. Oh, let's try that. Okay, 10 pairs this year. That's the goal. So yeah, I think on those Batman socks, I'm going to downsize to a 2.5 needle and see how that goes. I usually make mine on 2.75, so I think I'm going to try a 2.5. I think I'd like the fabric better, but all right. So if you stayed on this long and seen this mess that is all around me, thank you. I hope you were somewhat entertained. But if you want to follow me elsewhere, you can. I am Toe Creations on Instagram, Facebook, and Ravelry. As always, Instagram is what I use the most. We do have a Ravelry group, the Toe Creations Ravelry group. We'd love to have you be a member of it. Again, we have the Carpe Diem Make-Along going on. Please join us and let's kind of step outside of our comfort zones and become better crafters in the process. What else? I think that's about it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Grandma, I hope you instead are staying warm and staying inside. Don't be going nowhere. I know that warm weather's coming, but just stay put. Glad seeing you over Christmas break, and hope to see you again very, very soon. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.